Hi, welcome to the Wisdom Years. I'm Wayne Morrison. Glad to be with you here and now, wherever that is. When I was 17, I was shown a language. And this language doesn't have any words. It has thought and realization. I had an NDE at 17. It's called a near-death experience. Some of you have probably heard of it. And when I arrived over there, I realized that the second I began to think a thought, my thoughts were answered before they even emerged from my mind. And it would be in a multitude of ways. So in my case, I wanted to know about life on other planets, and I was instantly transported and shown different planets, different lives. To use an example, if I were to want to know what it was like to be an octopus, then the second I began to think that, I would be transported deep into the ocean. I would become the ocean. I would become the fish. I would become the plankton, the seaweed. Finally, I would be the octopus itself. And so, yes, I would know what it's like to be an octopus beneath the sea. Okay, that was kind of corny. But here in the real world, it's really not that easy. We have a limited toolbox of sounds and gestures. And out of this toolbox, we are desperately trying to be heard and be understood and to understand others. But because we're limited in this way, our messages are often not received, and other people's messages are not understood. I sometimes refer to it as nobody ever understanding what anybody else is saying. That's probably not 100% true, but in my life, I've realized it's true most of the time. What can happen to us, and it's happened to me in my past, and it won't happen again, that I can assure you, is that we can attach ourselves to cultures and identities and ideologies that aren't really who we are. And we begin to let them do the thinking and talking for us. It's a very convoluted system that takes our minds away from being present, from being aware. And in place of it, it puts a pre-formatted set of rules and ideas that we are to abide by. Add to that the use of devices that have good purposes in some cases, but are now used to detach from other people. So instead of being present and aware, we are pulling away more and more every day. So what can we do about this to advance ourselves? That's a good question. I think what we're really looking for in this world is human contact. If you think of the most beautiful love song, or not even a love song, but most beautiful song that transports you somewhere else, then you know what I'm talking about. It's beyond words. The languages that we use here have limitations, but great art can break those chains, those limits, and we can find ourselves in a whole aura of comprehension and appreciation that we wouldn't normally be in our day-to-day lives. This new language that we're looking for, at least I'm looking for, it has to have a beginning. And I think that if we would let our hearts more into our minds and our minds more into our hearts, then we could more completely communicate with each other. You listening to me listening to you, but even more so, trying to comprehend and understand what is hard to understand and comprehend in this world. Of course, when those things happen, it's great. And I believe somewhere along our evolution, we will merge those two, and we will have that new language of love. Thank you for being here. And if you like this thing, whatever this thing is, please feel free to subscribe and send it over to your friends and ask them to subscribe or at least listen. I really enjoy doing this because in a world that gets less and less communication flow, this for me is an outlet, and I hope for you too. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time.